Right, we are back with another In That Number podcast.
Hello.
Another new theme song, but I'm obsessed with Suno at the minute, but I think I'll stick with that one.
Right, there
Um,
we
a tough game uh, last Thursday against a very spirited Hull FC side,
go.
and let's be honest, they were playing for John Cartwright.
Yeah, there was a potential banana skin missed, that one for Saints, which
Yeah,
always is. Pull away always is. We've had plenty of losses there. I don't know what the actual Super League record is, but even stronger Saints sides and weaker Hull sides, we've lost there before. Tough place to play, especially if you're travelling far. And the effect on the Cartwright drama, I thought it might have the opposite effect. I thought there might be heads might be a bit all over the place, but I think because developments happened since our last podcast where Cartwright did his press conference where he basically made his own job untenable, and I think he did that on
yeah,
purpose. To be honest, I don't. The
yeah,
whole thing they were doing where he was going to stay till the end of the season, then get sacked. So bizarre. Well, it's still bizarre. We'll get on to that in a second. But it's still bizarre. But I think he was trying to get himself kicked out quicker, and I
yeah.
think at that point the players did know that was the last game. So it had the opposite effect I thought it would. It was like, right, let's send him off on a win. Let's send him off on a big one. Um, but again, this new Saints side of rally, it's just got resilient even when we're not at the races and everything's not perfect. Our Reds don't go down like they did a lot last season. We don't let ourselves, apart. It's only really the KR game where we've kind of switched off a bit. That's like the only
Yeah.
game all season, and it could have happened in that game against Hull in the first half. But we kept in it, managed to go in level, and I think the scoreline ended up flattening them a bit in the second half. I thought we probably should have scored more, but again, that's credit to the fact that they just weren't giving up and they showed good spirit. But having a full pack in terms of being able to have your Lees, Walmsley, Clemmer, Stevens, Delaney, all five rotating, that
Yeah.
was the difference because we steamrolled them down the middle in the second half. Like they've got a few out in their forwards and they just couldn't handle our pack at the end of the day. It shows how important it is. Even if your halves aren't clicking and your backs aren't scoring, you just grind games away if you're just making territory with your forwards, and that's what we did. It was really good to see.
Yeah, that's what I go into as well, actually, because we saw the team sheet and it looked like Matty Lees was going to be on the bench. So I thought, maybe 10 minutes either side of half time, get some minutes in the legs. But yeah, he done pretty much his usual shift.
Yeah, Lee's good. Little bit rusty, but to be expected. You know how long he's
Yeah,
been out.
he said it himself, didn't he? He said it
Yeah,
himself.
he'll get there. Couple penalties there he shouldn't have given away and things like that. But considering how long he's been out, good numbers with the ball, good defensive stats, which you always get from him, loads of tackles. And what was really the strength of having all your forwards fit is that Clemmer was obviously goosed after the effort he's had to put in the last couple of weeks. I mean, he's had to play. The plan for Clemmer is not for him to play the minutes he's been playing. So he didn't play long minutes in this game, but you can take that luxury when you've got Lees there, when you've got Delaney there. So we were able to manage Clement, the fact that he obviously is a little bit
Yeah.
fatigued for having those long minutes against Wigan and Catalan. So he just played, I think he only played like 10, 12 minute stints, and it suited us down to the ground, and we were able to get the most out of him. Stevens, again, what can you say this season?
Yeah.
Wow. The player of the year so far.
He doesn't do anything flashy, but he does his job perfectly.
You know what? He's the best type of prop. Gets that ball.
He's what you want
I
out
am
of a prop
going
forward.
forward. You're
Yeah.
not pushing me back. I'm not stopping. You're going to have to put some effort in to put me down. And there was one point where you just had Walmsley, who, by the way, at his age, is having a stellar season himself. Walmsley, Stevens, and again, just that second half, and Delaney. The one criticism of Delaney maybe last season was that his meters, post-contact meters, weren't the best last year, and now he's looking more physical. He's spreading, he's battering defences a bit, and that's without your Sirenin is still out and players like that. It's not even a full strength pack. When it's full strength, that's one of the best in the league. I think now I'm confident saying that it's one of the best in the league.
Yeah, and it's something I've been banging on about for, it seems like forever now, but those post-contact meters, they win you games.
They win your games,
mean,
but especially with the new rule with the fast play the ball. If you're
Yeah.
moving forward and you land in your front, that play the ball now is rapid, and you just
Yeah.
even if you've got nothing on, and you don't, even if you don't have a really quick hooker, if you have a super quick play the ball, that's at least 5 meters you've made because the defense isn't ready. So you at minimum make 5 meters. If you have got someone like Clark, who is, by the way, the biggest beneficiary of this quick play the ball for us, because
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong, he was the best
Got it up
of
there.
like a pretty
Not
poor
got the legs
season. I
anymore, but
thought
he's
he
got
was the
that.
best last year, definitely.
Yeah.
But this year, even though he's not the Clark of old, he's not as fast as he used to be. The way the way he can get round the markers if it's a quick play the ball, and it just made us. We were just 10, 12, 15 meters up the middle in that second half. It was, even again, and the attack wasn't really clicking, but it didn't need to when you're just dominating territory like that,
Yeah.
just dominating it.
That's it. You will get over the line eventually. And I do want to highlight one FC player, Logan Moy, who I thought was absolutely fantastic in that game.
Yeah, good player.
19 years old.
Very good player.
It's just 19, 20, something like that. He's just like the try saver on Sailor, and he's very good in the air as well. Caused a lot of problems in the air.
Yeah, it's one with a good future, I think, for Hull FC. I want to shout out Jake Davis again.
Yeah,
because
very good game.
I don't think I've ever seen someone in the forwards. You get it in the back sometimes if they're a zippy winger
or a back row.
But to go into the pack with how old he is and just looks like a first team player. He doesn't look like a guy with potential, or you can see he's going to get better.
He's showing it.
He just looks like a first team player. He's ready.
Yeah.
He's ready already. His physicality for his age is scary. If that's how strong he is as a teenager, I mean, what's he going to be like?
Mid-20s, late 20s.
You know what I mean? What's he going to be like in a few years? I mean,
we've
got one there. And someone made a point to me about this. I'm not sure if it was you guys or someone else. That's the type of player the NRL will be sniffing around.
Yeah.
They like to get him young these days, where they can get in their system early and learn the NRL way of playing. And I can just see 2021, 22, that's the type of player we'll have to do well to keep hold of him. So I think he's got something. He really does.
Yeah, and he's a player that we've talked up a lot, even from watching his academy games.
Yeah,
and he's made that transition to senior rugby effortlessly.
And what I like, he complements what we need, because we've got a lot of in the forwards. We've got a lot of those defence first, second rowers who are like workhorses. They're not flashy. Your Shane Wrights, your Whitleys, who their effort's going to be more than most players on the pitch. So I'm going to let you down in that regard, but they're not going to make a great break on that front ball. They haven't got much pace about them. They're not going to score a lot of tries. But Jake Davis seems like, and I don't want to put all this pressure on him, but he's almost like one of those Lee Gilmore type of centres. He looks like he's got a bit of footwork, a bit of pace, and near the line, he's actually a try threat, which we don't have a lot. Sirinin is the only one for me on the edges that has that kind of same threat, and he's a very Sirinin
too, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's a very Sirinin style type of player. Where he's tall, he's broad. We haven't seen what his passing offloading is like, but the way he can pick that line, that front line, he isn't just a battering ram. He's very clever about hitting that gap, and we saw it with his try this week, and we saw it with his try in the cup as well. A similar type of try 2 weeks in a row. That's a big plus to have more of a try threat from your second rower too.
Yeah, so, just clatters through, falls over the line.
Yeah, like
no messing about.
Yeah, so really exciting, Jake Davis. Very exciting. Keep an eye on him.
Yeah, another player I actually want to commend from that game, and even though I've been very clear on how much I dislike him, but I have to give Harry Newman his props, because he played about over an hour with his nose pissing blood. He just kept putting his hand up to carry on. I thought, you know what, that's someone who's bought into what's going on at that club there, even though he's not their player.
Yeah, which is a weird situation itself that he's even on loan, but it's a bit of an odd one. Why he's not there at Leeds at the moment?
He can be very petulant though, kind of. I think.
Yeah, and we saw some of it in that one. To be honest, there was a bit of, he bit at the away crowd about 3 times in the game, and one time straight after he clearly gestured to the crowd, I think he made an error in like the next set. So he has that about him where his head, you can get in his head way too easily still. And it's a shame because if he could just keep himself focused in a game,
He's a good player there.
He'd be a much more dangerous player than he is. And I don't know, maybe the move over to Australia might help him in that regard. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. But I mean, it's like the quarterfinal last year. You know, Taylor goes over to shake his hand and he tells him to fuck off.
Yeah, it's just there's that petulant side of him still.
Yeah, you can't do that. Come on.
You just know it. You just know as well, anyone.
Yeah, you understand the way you've lost the game there in the last second, but come on.
You just shake them. You shake the other players' hand when you share the field with them. You know, that's all you do. But it's like, you if you got to play, let's say you got to play like Hull KR, player like Lewis, he'll be thinking, oh, I know who I'm going for. I am getting right under your skin, and it'll work, and he'll get penalties, and he'll miss a tackle and make an error. And when every team will be looking at him and thinking, we know he's dangerous, but we also know how to. And negating the dangers isn't anything you do as a player. It's just talk to him. You can see players yapping at him. Jackson Hastings was doing it all game. So every time he was near yap, and he bites at everything, and he just needs to just block it out. And the best way to get
a few of them in that league as well.
Yeah,
not just him. You can do it to Wellesby. You can do it.
The best way to get back at him is you beat him. You beat him. They've got nothing to say then. So play your best rugby. That's all you need to do. Yeah. But it's getting to the point where if he hasn't learned it by now, I'm not sure if he's ever going to fully realise how good he can be.
It for a young lad, but he's established now.
Yeah, he's very well established now. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just bonkers. So,
can we just touch on
this week?
Can we just touch on how it's still weird what Hull FC have done? I don't know if you read like the full article. So John Cartwright has left his head coaching role, but he is still employed by the club.
Yeah.
Why won't you just pay the man off? Just give him his compensation and let him go. So I missed this because I just saw the headline. Cartwright goes. Okay, I read the article. Cartwright is still employed by Hull FC. They're still paying him until the end of the season, rather than just paying him off in one go. Just absolutely mind-boggling. Still, how I've never heard of that in the history of sport. I've never heard of that. Do you
reckon that's to stop him going to another Super League club?
Possibly. At the same time, if you cared that much about it, why is he not still your coach? If you cared that much about it, then it probably is something weird like that. But I've never had it where it's like, oh yeah, he's sacked, but like only kind of sacked because legally he still works for the club. What are you talking about? Just crazy. I've not been able to watch the Mother interview on the Meghan Markle because having to watch that show just is very difficult for me. So I have to psych myself up to deal with anything Matt Shaw related. But I will watch that, and maybe we can touch on that next week. I don't know if you've seen it.
Yeah, I've seen a clip where I don't mind this line where he says, "I don't think I can apologise for wanting excellence," which is basically like talking about the Nathan Cleary link. Well, I understand that. That's completely understandable. You want the best.
That's a different thing. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. But it'll be interesting to see. I've heard some rumours from some Hull FC fans about why Cartwright might have gone, which I'm not going to say because it's literally bloke in a pub talk. It's not even like a journalist. It's literally. But there's no issue with players. There's rumours that there's issues with staff. Basically, that's the rumour. That there were things that have gone on with his staff. So it's nothing that he's done to players. There's no. You can see the players want him to stay.
Yeah, he hadn't lost the dressing room.
Apparently there was something around staff that there was, arguments, let's put it that way, because the detail I've heard sounds pretty bad, but I find it hard to believe. I think people might have heard a little bit of truth and they've stretched it. You know how things go. Like it's changes. Every time someone says it, but I don't know. It'd be interesting to see what Myler actually says, because if it is something like that, I don't think he would say that in an interview anyway. So it'll be interesting to see how he frames it. But wanting excellence, by the way, and hiring Steve McNamara, who has one Challenge Cup in about 20 years of coaching, is a bit of an interesting choice. But, So,
But I do want to touch on when I don't know if you've watched it back, but like John Cartwright with his interview post game.
yes, it was
And
very
he's
good.
talking, obviously, he's getting emotional about it, which is understandable.
Yeah.
But his players were stood off to the side, off camera, and
Yeah.
they did not go down that tunnel until he went first. That is the best show of unity I've seen from a rugby league club or team.
So, like I said, we don't know all sides to it, but it's odd from that appearance because squad unity is one of the biggest things you need, really.
Yeah.
I will say though, John Cartwright, for me, Catalan needs to be on the phone immediately if they haven't already been.
Yeah.
That's the easy appointment for me. Easy appointment. He needs to go to
let him
Catalan.
go properly, would he?
Yeah. So if
Even
I
no
was
compete
Catalan, I
clause.
would put up with an interim coach all season and I'd have Cartwright next year. I'd absolutely would.
Yeah, that's probably the most sensible one you can go for.
It just seems like it's perfect for them. It's a good fit for me.
Yeah.
Because what the Catalan need a lot, which they've struggled with, is like playing like individuals a lot. That's the biggest criticism. The egos, the Aussies that aren't fully bought into it. Cartwright would give them that. He'd get that squad together. He'd get that Catalan squad together.
I mean, Sheridan didn't do too bad of a job at the weekend by
bounced back very well.
Getting a win over Ryan, to be fair.
Impressively bounced back, yeah.
Yeah. So you can't argue that one. And 2 ex-Saints lads doing the job, getting 5 tries between them.
Yeah.
In fact, what the bloody hell happened for Lewis Dodd's 3rd try, by the way? It's just like I've seen a post saying when your controller dies and just pass the ball on the floor.
Yeah, it's just some weird defence in that game as well. Some odd defensive plays from both teams.
Yeah, I just it's not our problem anyway. It's their problem. Very, very tough game this weekend. Wakefield at home. Wakefield are absolutely firing, and this is a game where what we've got available to us now, this is the absolute test to see where that is, like what it really is.
Yeah, obviously lost. I'm trying to think who did we lose because there was head injury assessment. I think Dion Cross handled it, didn't it? So, but we have got McDonald back. But we have got McDonald back.
In one for the
straight swap. Yeah, so that one's a straight swap. So it's not too bad. Like I said, there's still a few key players out, but I think overall we're in a decent place with the squad. There's strong players in most positions now. We're at home. We've, great win in the derby, good cup win, grinded out a win when we're working our best. There's a bit of form now. We're at home. For me, if we want to show that we are going to stay near the top this year, we should be winning this game. This is this is maybe just as much a test as it is Wigan, because Wigan are on a bit of a poor run, where Wakefield are on a great run. So, I think home advantage, we should take this, because Wakefield don't necessarily travel that well in general, especially not to us. But it's going to be a tight one. This, I think, it'll be similar to the whole game, tight one.
Yeah, it's going to be a very good game for the neutrals, I think. We've also got Shane Wright back in the squad now. If I'm Rowley, I'm rewarding Jake Davis with a start.
I think Jake Davis should start. But I know you want to manage minutes with young players because you don't know if them burnt out by the time they're 24. I get that, but he needs to be in the squad somewhere. If he drops to the bench, Davis, I'm not too bothered about that. But he needs to be in that squad. He needs to be in that squad.
Yeah,
like you've got to reward
the 18th man or less.
Yeah, you're going to reward form like that. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, I'm all for that. And you look at Wakefield. You've got Truman and Sinfield, and they're starting to gel. I mean, they are. Like, they shouldn't be there, but they are.
Yeah, well, they've got it's the classic. It's just the classic. It's the classic Darryl Powell team.
Yeah,
he just thrives at these team of misfits and getting them playing as a unit and getting them to buy in to his type of culture. And yeah, they very much reminded me of his old cast team. He has a very distinct type of team wherever he goes, and doing a good job at the moment. But I think it should be a game that if we want to be a bit serious this season, we should be aiming to win this and not really making excuses if we lose as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them. I won't be disappointed if we lose because we know how good they are. But if we win, it'll be great. But touched on Darryl Powell again. He's one of those coaches where, like, when he went to Warrington, he had a team there ready made, and it
Mm.
didn't go well for him. He's better building a squad.
Yeah, I
Like, he'll just
think
go, "I want this
also
player, that player. Then we'll get
at
this
the
one after,
time
then
as
this
well, I
one."
think he was set up to fail because the same happened with I can't remember the other coach's name. The Aussie coach, Steve Price. Same similar
Steve
thing
Price,
happened with
yeah,
him at Wire, where
yeah,
I think there was just too many bad eggs in that Wire squad, ego wise. Where when it was going well for them and there was no, they weren't getting any hardship. They were playing great. We saw they won a Challenge Cup under Price. They had a decent start to the season one year. Powell, great start to one season. As soon as that squad they had at the time had a little bit of pushback, the Reds just
yeah.
fell off. And I don't think any coach would have been able to deal with that. I think there was some real stuff going on behind the scenes there, which I know Wire have desperately been trying to fix over the last couple of years. So,
That's the reason
that's
we got
another topic.
Darryl Clark, because he had a fallout with Powell. Or
Yeah,
Powell had a
all
fallout with him,
sorts of people. The things
whichever way you
I
want to
know,
look
I
at
mean,
it.
I know a Wire fan well who knows people at that club, and it was all the way up to people at board level. There was
Yeah,
just some things happening which was amateur hour at that club. It was inmates running the asylum. Trust me,
yeah.
really bad. So there's not a surprise. I mean, we don't know how well it is for Wire now. They've still got a lot to prove for me on that front
Yeah.
because
Well,
with
they're in a
Sims
bit
and
of
other,
trouble now, aren't they, with
yeah,
George Williams being out indefinitely with a
and that's it.
suspected
So
neck injury.
a bad loss to Catalan after they got battered by us, bad injury. So this is around the time of
Yeah,
the year where things go a bit wrong, and Wire just go, we're done. So this is a test for them now. Can they actually just not throw everything out? Can they actually just, even if they lose a one or two more, can they stick to it and turn
yeah.
everything round? Because 3 years in a row, it's pretty much been a complete collapse as soon as it's gone wrong for them.
Well, they win the league in April anyway, so it's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Yes.
they're up against a Wigan who aren't doing too well at all. So if they don't get themselves through that game, there's going to be some major questions asked.
Yeah. I've just realised I need to do my predictions. So
Oh yeah, doing them live. I'll keep chatting away anyway.
go on.
Yeah, Saints women, dominant win against Catalan women's in the Challenge Cup. Playing the quarter final before our game on Saturday, so I'll be down for that. Good to see Amy Hardcastle back doing what she does best.
Yeah. It was looked like a good performance. Not watched it, but I usually watch them back on Saints TV. But I've just not got round to it yet. But I will do from next week. But yeah, also good. Danny McGifford, who
Yeah, she got
been,
3. Leah Burke got 3.
been posted on social media that she found out in the off season she played like a month with an ACL tear towards the
Yeah,
end of last year. So she's had to do a lot of strong rehabbing to be back in time to play these games. So good to see her
somehow she's managed
healthy
it.
and getting the tries. Leah Burke as well. Sounds like another strong performance and getting through the game healthy.
Yeah,
So all positives. Always going to be tough on Catalan this year, where they are as a team. They're right at the very beginning, really. So it's just a good. It's good. It's good just for more the confidence, I think, of the women's team, just to start with some big wins and then hope to carry on as you go on, basically.
yeah, that's it. I mean, it's put him in good stead for the rest of the season now. I mean, I know there's going to be much tougher games coming up, like in the league against Wigan or Leeds and York. So we'll see how
Yeah,
that goes. Saints are making a big thing of the 30th anniversary of the 1996 Challenge Cup final.
they are.
Now I can say I was there for that. I must have only been about 9 years old, but I was there.
Bloody hell.
Um,
Very
I
jealous. Go.
remember,
What do you
I
remember,
remember,
Gaz?
I remember it all. I remember one fella behind us disappeared from his seat, came back with a different T-shirt, and I thought, oh bloody hell! Then next thing we just started scoring tries everywhere. Bobby's bombs and the fumbles from the Bradford fullback. Steve Prescott pouncing on them,
Yeah,
and it was just mad. And I witnessed the first ever, Challenge Cup final hat trick from Robbie Paul as well.
Indeed, yeah, our first ever. It's
Still
definitely
the
one
only one, I
worth.
think.
It's definitely one worth watching back. It's one I've watched quite a few times. So I think, what month was it in? What month was it in that year?
Was it April? So I think it's on Monday or Tuesday, the actual date.
Yeah, so I was a few weeks old. My story for
27th,
this.
so it's Monday.
Yeah, so I would have been a day shy of being a month old. And my dad tells me the story that they were watching it. He's looking after me while the game's on. So he's had to put, and I've been crying my head off. So he's had to put, and I'm asleep. So he has to put the game on mute. So he's had to be dead quiet. And he's managed to be quiet through the entire game until the final
No way.
golden bomb. And then he just goes, get the, and then bam, straight away. And then crying my head off. And my mum's absolutely battering me.
That explains why you're so negative half the time.
So that's my little story around that. My dad likes to tell that every time he brings up the bloody '96 Challenge Cup.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's the type of the crowd. You don't get the crowds like that, as in like loads of homemade banners, loads of homemade flags, which are just banned now because it's the fun police now when it comes to sports fans in England. You can't do anything. Can't do anything that
people
makes the game
driving
better.
down with red V ribbons on bonnets
Yeah,
of the cars and
it's a
everything.
great shot at half time if you get the official broadcast, and it's just like old Wembley, that kind of close packed crowd. Everyone's got a different banner and flag. There's like big bed sheets tied together with come on new states on them, and awesome stuff like that. And it's just a really entertaining game as well. Really entertaining. And I guess that started. That was basically
first half. It looked like Bradford were going to run away with it.
It was kind of the start of the Saints' dominance of the summer era.
Yeah.
For people that don't know the history, if people who are younger and won't have been there for it, Saints had the reputation as bridesmaids and never the bride for between like 76 and 96. So between those 20 years, they never won the league. There was some. I think there was a few Premiership trophy wins, a couple of Lancashire Cup trophy wins, things like that, but they never won the Challenge Cup and they never won the First Division in those years. So that was basically the start of that. I mean, I've spoken to loads of people that were around back then and things like
it
that.
was actually our first Challenge Cup since 1976 or 75-76 season.
And people who I've spoke to have always said that just felt like a changing of the guard. It felt like the Wigan Widnes era was firmly over at that point, and it was a different era of rugby. That's what people say. It felt like a shift in the power at the top of rugby league. And then Bradford weren't one of those giants for a good few years, so it was us and Bradford just came out of nowhere. A new exciting league on Sky, and it just felt like a seminal moment, leading up to that kind of that first Super League season and Saints going on to dominate the majority of the first 10 to 15 years of it. So it's a huge, milestone when if you look back at Saints' history. It was, finally stepping out of the shadow and becoming a real big club once again.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking up that Bradford team there from '96, and I'm having a bit of a nightmare with it here. All right, yeah. So I think I've got it here. I mean, Robbie Paul. I'm going to name players here. Robbie Paul, Paul Cook, Sonny Nicol went over a couple of years before that. Brian McDermott, Bernard Dwyer, Paul Loughlin, Steve McNamara, we've talked about.
Yeah.
Stuart Spruce, I remember him. He was a good player. Any Bradford fans out there, let us know if there's any players that we're missing out there. But they're the ones who stick out. And then obviously later down the line, you had like Deacon and Peacock. They all started coming through.
Yeah,
Henry Paul joined them.
Star-studded team when you look back at it.
Jimmy Laws, that was another one. Jimmy Laws.
Yeah, real star-studded team.
Player. Yeah, it was a game and a half, and it was repeated the year after in '97.
Yeah, so same two teams, same result in '97 as
Yeah,
well, which is, I think, one maybe not focused on as much due to how iconic '96 was, but it's also one that's a good watch for a Saints fan if you want to watch that one back too. It's another good win.
yeah.
It must have felt like
I
crazy times. I don't know. I know you're young guys, but like considering the heartache of the late '80s, early '90s Challenge Cups and just missing out on the league to winning the Challenge Cup '96, winning Super League One, and then winning the Challenge Cup '97, it must have felt like what's going on here? This is this is like madness. It must have felt like where has this come from?
yeah. Well, the first trophy I sort of known as winning was a Premiership in '93,
Yeah,
and then it's all a blur at that age. You know what I mean? 'Cause I'm like 6, 7, 8 years old. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So it's all blurred, but that's when it all started piecing together in my mind, where like
yeah.
what rugby league was and what it meant to win things and then not to win things. So
It
yeah,
was
it's
it was a
just
good
weird.
time, a very good time to be that age, wasn't it? Because you start
Yeah,
proper getting into it just to start the dominant
yeah. I
era.
was
You had a
quite spoiled. I've been spoiled in my lifetime. Let's put it that
yeah,
way.
you had a good
Not
childhood,
just
didn't
in the
you?
last few years.
You had
Yeah,
a great time at school with as a Saints fan. Bloody hell.
yeah. We still had the one or two Wigan fans in our school, but they kept quiet.
Yes. What you want.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think the biggest story from the last week is the Abdo interview before our game. Saying all the right things, isn't it, to us as fans?
Yeah. Um, and I think they're approaching it in the right way. Obviously, we know big changes are needed. Big
Yeah,
changes are needed. But I like the fact that he was talking about it as a partnership.
yeah, not a
Because
takeover.
don't get me wrong, it would be better if it was a takeover, in my opinion. That's just my people might disagree. I would have no qualms in a full takeover, but the Super League
They must have the
chairman,
majority say.
with how much the chairman just love the power that they have over the game, over the governance of the game, you've got to be clever about it. And I think the NRL are being very clever. I think they do
Yeah,
have intentions. And again, this is speculation from me only. But I do think they have intentions to grow their power in Super League, but they need to be clever about how they do it because they know who they're dealing with. They know the chairman don't want to give up all that power because they basically run the sport, which
yeah,
just makes me roll my eyes every time I say. Imagine if all the Premier League chairman ran the Premier League. I mean, God forbid the rubbish that'd happen.
yeah.
Um,
How many of
but
them have come and gone in the last like 20 years?
just imagine. But I like the fact they've gone. You know what? Fine. Don't get your backs up. Don't be scared of us. Let's work together to start with. Let's show you what we can do. We can bring for you. I think it's sensible. I think it's a good approach, and I hope it gets over the line. Can I just say, on the opposite side of that clown who they interviewed after the game
Oh, fucking
from
hell!
RL
Fucking
commercial. Did you understand a
bloody
single
Uncle
thing he
Fester.
said? Did you understand a single bloody
No,
thing that man said?
like this the difference. He was giving every single politician answer that he could.
Oh, it was.
Abdul was not.
If you've ever seen skits and people joking about corporate speak, anyone who works in
Yeah,
any sort of office, you'll
jargon,
have heard it. It was like
jargon.
it was like someone doing a comedy sketch of all the corporate
Yeah,
nonsense. Doesn't mean anything. I mean, listen. I understand he's not a TV personality, guy, so he might just be a bit uncomfortable doing it. But it doesn't sound good considering rugby league commercials meant to be. I mean, they asked him what their role
part
was,
and
which I
parcel of
thought
it.
was a very straightforward question. What is your role? Because it's very confusing for fans because we've got the RFL,
I don't
Rugby
think
League
he knows.
Europe, Rugby League Europe, IMG, Rugby League Commercial, which has a lot of the same people that are on the RFL board. So what? And it was a very simple. What do you actually do? That the RFL don't do, that Rugby
Yeah,
League Europe wouldn't do, but IMG aren't doing. And he couldn't answer it. It was just a strategy and alignment and what are
I
you
don't think
talking
he
about?
knows what his job is.
Yeah, so I've always thought rugby league commercial has been the whole concept of it for me is a joke, and I've always thought it has been a joke. I don't know what they've ever done positive for the sport. I might be wrong, but they've never demonstrated it. They've never been able to show off in a way that fans can digest what they've actually done. The fact that I believe is it Eamon who's on the board there, McManus, and it just seems like it's the same people who were involved in the RFL. It just seems like it's another way for them to just get some more money to make jobs for the boys. That's all
It
rugby
literally
league.
is Robin Hood and his band of merry men. But
It just
twisted.
literally, it just seems like we'll create this board that's in charge of commercial. But to me, I don't know. I don't understand the purpose of rugby league commercial, and I'm none the wiser after that guy's interview.
No,
Absolutely
I've
none the
got more
wiser.
questions than answers from that.
More questions than answers, yeah. Because a lot of it was like, well, is this not what the IMG advising the RFL should be doing? Like, well, where do you guys come into it?
Do you know what? I had to stop paying attention after 2 minutes.
What?
I was like, well, this is nonsense.
The poor Sky guys, they tried the best to get something out of him.
Well, no. Do you know what? It's not often I feel bad for Sky, but bloody hell, he done his best there, didn't he? God love him.
Well, they tried, but yeah. Anyway, if anyone can watch it back or has watched it, who can tell me the clear goals, aims, and purposes of rugby league commercial, leave it in a comment somewhere because I still have no idea. So
yeah, I'm not even going to bother trying to dissect it because I'll not give myself a bloody headache.
we'd have to put together an academic paper to dissect that bollocks he was chatting.
Honestly, I need a bloke, right, with a PowerPoint display fucking thing, with a pointer with a red fucking light on the end of it, to tell me what the fuck he's just said.
Breaking it down line by bloody line.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like, I'm not blowing out on Trump here, but we're not stupid fucking lads, are we, Ben? You know, we've got a little bit up here. And
like,
I just don't know what the hell
listen, as someone who does work in those bollocks corporate environments, I'll put my hand up. I do work in one of them. I know I can usually dissect what people mean. And even I'm struggling. I'm struggling here. So that says it all anyway.
It was literally just like listen to a politician.
It was just circular answers that didn't seem to go anywhere to me anyway.
Yeah. Speak has the floor. Oh no! Smacking the papers everywhere. He's like nursery school, and they'll go. Got it. Anyway, on to something a bit more. Well, I'm taking it as a positive. Brian McDermott getting the England job. I don't mind it because he can put all of his time into this now.
Yeah. Well, I said my thing on this last week. I didn't really care who got it because I don't think they're being set up to succeed.
Yeah, it's a horrible job to go into.
It should always be a full-time job. I think it's a bit of a joke that we want to grow our sport, but our national team coach now works part-time. I think that's embarrassing for the sport, to be honest. The fact that there's no friendlies, apart from maybe that we might have one like the week before we start the World Cup at best. The fact that there's no international calendar. Not only that, never mind games. There's not even training camps until the end of the season.
I know.
So what exactly Brian McDermott's going to be able to do? So at the very least,
for the best,
the very least, I'll be positive because he has no ties to clubs, which is good. He shouldn't have any ties. He shouldn't be already working for a Super League club. In wink, wink, Wayne. His teams always throw the ball around and play expressive rugby, so that'll be nicer. And I think he's been set up to fail. And I think England will fail horrendously, but it won't be his fault. And hopefully there'll be a bit of a wake-up call come World Cup, and then we can give him a bit more of a chance and give him a bit of time. Because they gave Wayne a lot of time. So if they set up to fail like they are, they better not sack him even if we're rubbish, because it's not fair on him. He has to pull off a miracle.
I don't want him going, right, we'll just get him for this one because there's nothing...
Because we haven't really planned it properly.
Then for the next one, we got what we really want.
No. He deserves more than this World Cup. He deserves more than this World Cup.
A very successful coach.
I don't think any coach is going to do anything with the way we've set England up to play no games, to never train together, and then to expect them to beat teams that on paper are just a lot better than us. So I wish him best, and at least we will try our arm a bit.
I'll get behind him.
We'll try our arm a bit more. We won't be as conservative. He isn't as grind-focused as Wayne. So for fans, it might be a bit nicer to watch, and that is a big thing. That's a big thing. So we'll see.
No, like I say, all we can do is get behind him as a country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and hopefully you can pull off that miracle. So
yeah, I like what they've done. By the way, they've put it out there on St. George's Day.
Yeah, that's cool. It's a cool little thing. You know, again, there's loads of things you can do. Like don't got to start. We can go forever on what we don't do as a national team. But We'll leave it there. We've ranted about it before.
Yeah. And maybe he might pick the right players, unlike someone.
Yeah. Like I said, I know he has the history with Leeds, but his squad is long gone, like at this point, and he doesn't have those
I don't think any of
types
them are
of
still
players.
playing now, are they?
No, not
Tom Briscoe still playing, that's it.
Yeah, so it's good that he'll have a completely unbiased kind of selection for the team, which is good.
And because he's not doing anything else coaching wise, he's got the time to go and look at all these players, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not just go, exactly. Oh, I know him from Wigan, I know him from Wigan, I know him from Wigan, I'll just get them.
Yeah.
And then half-ass the rest of it.
You've got credit in the bank. Hopefully credit in the bank is gone, by the way.
Shove your credit up the bank up your ass.
Right.
That means
How about we do the crazy experimental technique of picking players in form? I know it's a bit of a crazy suggestion from a fan here, but maybe pick players that are playing well for the clubs. I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully he's got his brain switched on with that one.
Putting Harry Smith in that England team was like starting Jordan Henderson for the England football team. Yeah, great player on his day, but he's fucked it now.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is. We can only hope he does well. We can only get behind him, can't we?
Yeah, that's all we can do.
Predictions, Ben?
Yes, I've done them as we were speaking before. I've got them ready.
Yeah. It's all. Yeah, I've got mine and Ben. Tom's here. I'm going York to beat Toulouse.
I'm going York as well. Yeah.
Yep, and so's Tom. Joe, regardless of the win, I'm not convinced by Lee yet. I think Huddersfield are going to beat them.
I have actually gone for Lee in that one. I've gone for Lee. I think it's going to be tight, to be fair. I think it's going to be a very tight game. But I know Lee seem like they might have turned a bit of a corner. We'll see. This other game that'll probably show us if they have anyway.
Right. I'll just stick them on because Tom's only got one different to me, and I know which one that is. So
yeah.
I'm going for Leeds to beat Catalan, especially at home. I think I'll give them. Well, considering the last game as well, but that was at home, wasn't it, for Catalan? But
yeah, it's a tight game. It's a good round of fixtures. This just about Leeds, just.
Yeah. Now I've done Warrington to beat Wigan, but with the two players they've got out now as well, who are
there's a toss-up
players.
Obviously, Wigan are on worse form, but Wire had a really bad last game and have lost players just like Wigan. So this is a toss-up for me. I'm going to say Wire just because of home advantage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm going Wire because they're at home.
Just that. That's the only reason I've gone for them.
Yeah. Oh, Tom's done Leeds and Wire as well.
Yeah.
This is where me and Tom are different now. I'm going for Hull FC. Tom's going for Castleford.
Yeah. Again, I think that's another good game with how the teams are playing. Yeah. And that's another. It's a really good round. This.
We've not mentioned this yet, Ben. Wigan getting beat by Castleford at home.
Well, we chose to be the bigger people and be nice, but since you've brought it up,
look at that. Oh dear. And Joe, what though, right? Regardless of that, Deon Sambu's shown us what we've got rid of.
Yeah, but you showed it a bit here, but I'm still
his defense.
Considering, I still don't think he's that. Again, he's still developing, so obviously he's not going to be the finished product. But I'm very happy. Obviously, we didn't know Murphy was going to get a freak injury, but considering we've got Murphy, Fell,
Dagnall out there as well.
Dagnall, I'm not too bothered about it. He looks like he'll be a decent player, but I don't see that defensive side of the game. I think that might let him down at times.
I don't think he's a week-on-week starter for him. He's one of them that'll come in and
I think he's obviously going to be quick and nippy in attack, and if you give him space, he's going to do well. But I'm still not convinced by his defence. But, he's got a long way to develop anyway. We'll see what happens with him.
Yeah, and it was fun to see the Wigan fans booing Matty Pete after the game. The ones that were still there.
Well, I'll make a bit comment on this because that is a disgrace.
What he's done for that club.
That is a disgrace. Now, let's put it into perspective. Now, don't get me wrong. Even with Bevan French missing, they should be beating Cass at home. Yes. Yeah. Obviously,
That's
they
no
should.
disrespect to Cass.
No disrespect, but the player on versus player, Wigan at their best without Bevan French, even without Jay Field, should be beating Cass. I agree with Wigan fans. That's a poor result, but it's a few weeks. It's how
Yeah.
many years has he been there? Like what? Since was it 20,
He
20,
took over Lamb, didn't they?
a couple of lamps of 2022? So it's 4
Maybe
years,
21.
of,
Maybe
four
21.
years of winning everything. 4 years and he's won everything.
Yeah.
Everything.
Well, they won World Club Challenge, Challenge Cup, League Leaders, and Grand
They
Final
did
in the
that this
calendar year.
season. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's the first time that it's, you don't have a God-given right to win every week. You've been so, even us in our 4 in a row didn't often
Yeah.
go. So, I mean, during the season, we'd still have patches where we lost games and that. You have been so lucky to have such a good coach where you've had no hardship apart from the grand final last year was the first bit of pushback you've had in 4 odd years. And I'd understand if this was 2 years into this type of thing, 3 years in. It's 4 weeks into bad performances. Booing. I'm not saying be happy. Absolutely do not be happy. I'm not taking away your right to be disappointed losing Cass at home. But booing that team, that coach, and some of the Wigan fans peaked out. After everything he's won, like I said, it's been a few weeks, lads. Again, if this run continues until next year, I'll go fair enough. It's been 12 months of bad form. But lads, come on, it's barely been 3 minutes and you're booing. This is not. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Comment from a Wigan fan, right? I'm not going to name him because we're not like that. But the comment is, no club has been through what us Wigan fans have been through in the last decade or so.
What, being in the last decade, the second most successful club in the league? God, I bet Cass fans are thinking, at least we're not Wigan.
Right? I think about it. Salford, Widnes, Bradford, Featherstone. Who else been going down? North Wales Crusaders.
But I'm sorry, it's this arrogance that Wigan has as a club. And don't get me wrong, there's always a certain arrogance when a club has a dominant period. Saints have had it, Bradford had it.
We all our hands up to it.
But there's a particular type of one. It's more older Wigan fans who were there for those years where, they basically bought the league every year. Basically, they bought the Challenge Cup every year. Let's put it how it is. And it's those type of fans from that era that just have this arrogance about them where they think we're going to have a God-given right to be the top 2 in the league and winning at least 1 trophy every year. And it's just rubs me the wrong way, where it's like, you lost a grand final to a really good KR side and it was a good game. And now you lost your 2 best players and you got one of them back. Your best player's still out. You should be doing better. It's just one player. I get it, but that one player is one of the best players like in the world. So let's not. It's a big loss, and there's just a certain type of arrogance they have. Where
someone mentioned actually Miskey being out. I'm thinking you've not missed him.
Yeah, and you know what? They do this all. As soon as they get back on top, they have a bit of a dormant period, and they act like they're in the wilderness at the bottom of the league. And normally it's because they finished 3rd and lost the final. Oh God, Wigan have not been in any trouble really, and they've not faced proper hardship since 2005.
Well, we haven't.
20 years
in our last few years, we haven't faced hardship.
Yeah, 20 years. I'll give you the 2004-5. That was a tough time and you almost went down. I'll give you that. But you've not faced hardship since then. Like, get over, grow up. Yeah. Like, you don't have to be happy about it.
Grow up.
You can be critical. And you're right to be critical, and they aren't doing well enough at the moment, Wigan, with the players they've got.
As ticket-paying fans, you have the right to say what you think.
Heat out already.
Yeah, stupid.
Heat out in April of this year is the most batshit nonsense I've ever heard from a fan base. They did it with Wayne as well. Wayne, who won everything as well, and they were so quick to turn on him. There's just a nastiness there. I know it's not the majority, but there's an element of their fan base where if they are not winning one thing or in the top 2 every year, if you have to have one off year where you might finish 3rd or 4th and lose a final, they act like you finished bottom of the league and grow up. Grow up. That's it. Rant over. Grow up.
Yeah, grow up. Yeah. What game are we on?
Sorry, we're on
Bradford KR. I mean,
KR.
I have to feel for Bradford. 15 players out. They've already got 15 players available. They can't even
so
fill the 18
it's a shame for them because
so
they had a good start, and then those injuries started to really pile up for them, didn't they? And
actually, no, they've got Greg Eden coming in on loan.
Yeah, so it's, I mean, God, that shows how low they've got. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's going to be a tough one. KR.
Yeah, I think it's going to be an absolute whitewash.
Yeah, it's going to be the biggest score of the round, I'd guess.
Joe, I wouldn't be surprised if it's 80 points there.
Yeah, it's going to be a big one.
Yeah, it's going to be. It's not going to be. It's going to be a long day for them. And Tom has gone KR as well.
Yeah.
As far as our game, I mean, I know it's going to be tough. Like I said, I won't be upset if Wakey win because they deserve it. They're playing really well, but I have to back my boys on her.
Yeah, I think I'm going to back Saints for this. I think we'll win.
Yeah. And by the way, I forgot, I actually picked Cast in the predictions to beat Wigan last week.
You did indeed.
I mean, it didn't do me any favours in any other games. I've dropped a second now behind Steve Wellen, who's top of that numbered podcast league at the minute. So
we're all chasing Steve.
5 points clear of me. So Steve had a very good week there. So it's good to have someone in there now. It's been me, you, Tom, top three for God knows how long.
It's a close one. That's going to be. I think it's going to go down to the wire again.
Yeah, I think you and Tom are both on 161 points. I'm on 165, and Steve's on 170.
It's very close.
I don't know, is Steve a listener, or do you know him?
I don't know him personally. I think he's just a listener. Yeah.
I'll reach out. I'll give him a little mention as well.
Yeah,
it's interesting. So, didn't know about wraps us up, Ben. Unless you've got something to add.
No, I think that's us.
Unless something's dropped in the 50 minutes that we've been on. No, just wanting to look at the past again. When they're down Langer. As you always do. Saying that we can't say anything about looking to the past this season, can we?
True.
Our whole season's based on the past. Oh dear. Right. So we'll wrap up there.
Yeah.
We're back next week. Watch out for the pre-match of the weekend, and hopefully we will have some news in the coming days.
Let's see.
So, keep around the socials for stuff like that. And we'll be back next week.
See you then.
See you later.